everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to be simplifying rational expressions, aka algebraic fractions. So I'm going to start with one that's just numbers, okay? For example, if I had 4 over 12. Now, one procedure for simplifying this is I am going to factor part of it. Now I have a 4 on the top. And 12, you know, is 4 times 3. What cancels on top and bottom? The 4's, right? So, what's left over? Well, 4 goes into itself once, and then the 3's left over on the bottom. That is the procedure that we're going to use to simplify something that looks like this. We have 12 minus x squared. Over, we have x squared minus 8x and then plus 15. Looks kind of ugly, doesn't it? Kind of looks scary. Don't let it scare you. They're not as bad as they look. They're just on the ugly side. Okay? What I'm going to do is I am going to put the first term, the numerator, in standard form. So negative x squared. In other words, we're writing it in order by exponents. So minus x and then plus 12 over my same denominator. X squared minus 8x plus 15. Okay? Now, the numerator, I am going to factor out a negative 1 first because we like this to be positive, your squared term, when we're factoring it. So I'm dividing out a negative 1 first. So what's left over, I'm going to have now positive x squared, and it's going to be plus x minus 12. In other words, it just changed the sign of everything in the numerator. That's all it did. Okay? And our denominator, I haven't done anything to it yet. It's still x squared minus 8x plus 15. All right, now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to factor both the numerator and the denominator. So I can't forget I have to have that negative 1. So parentheses. Okay. Now, x squared gives me an x and an x. My last one is negative, so that means I need opposite signs. So one of these has to have a plus, the other has to have a minus. Now, numbers that multiply to give you a negative 12, but when you add them together, you get positive 1 are going to be positive 4 and negative 3, because positive 4 times negative 3 makes negative 12, and positive 4 plus negative 3 gives you positive 1. Okay? And then the denominator, once again, 2 sets of parentheses. All right, I'm going to have an x and an x. This time, they have to multiply to give you a positive 15. Well, numbers that multiply to give you a positive have the same signs. All right, I look at the middle term, they've got to add to give me a negative. So that means that both of these have to be minuses. So minus, minus. Well, numbers that multiply to give you 15 are 5 times 3. And when you add 5 and 3 together, you get 8. So since they're both negative, negative 5 plus negative 3 makes negative 8. Now, what do I have in common in both top and bottom? Yeah, the x minus 3. So I'm going to cancel out x minus 3 from both top and bottom. And what is left? I have negative 1 times x plus 4 over x minus 5. I can leave it like that. That is perfectly fine to leave it that way. Can I distribute the negative 1? Yes, you can. I could also do this. I could also just put the negative out front. And then I have x plus 4 over x minus 5. Either way is fine. It does not matter if I kept the negative with the numerator or if I just made the entire fraction negative. Because if part of the fraction is negative, the whole thing is a negative. All right, so this is our answer. Alrighty, have fun simplifying your fractions. Bye.